Hey guys, welcome to another Cigar Chat brought to you live on CigarFederation.com. Broadcasts around the world, the Armed Forces Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are out there today. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us. We know you're busy, so we appreciate you hanging out. Out here in sunny California, Logan, how's everything? How's the baby treating you, Logan?
Well, it's all right, man.
She's a sweetheart.
She's sweet. She's cute. She doesn't look anything like me, but man, she cries and she's fussy just like me.
I was gonna say if she doesn't look anything like you,
but I know. Well, I don't know. Hopefully not.
You might have a problem.
I know. She'll look like a freaking mongoloid, but everything's good, man. I appreciate it.
But she acts like you, so there's definitely the Lawler genes in there. That's good.
Hey, man, Vikings, man.
I don't know what that means, but whatever.
Not good.
All right, guys. Today's special guest, we've got Dean from Epic Cigars. Dean, thanks for taking the time, buddy.
Thanks so much, guys. Really happy to be here, and I've been looking forward to this. So.
Yeah, we appreciate you taking the time. We got a chance to meet Dean at IPCPR. Wow, a month ago already.
I know.
Just about, yeah, a month ago. And I mean, I know for myself, I had seen Epic Cigars, all over the place on Instagram for sure, and all over the place on social media. But I didn't know too much about them. And it's actually that seems to be a little. There's some questions that we've got from the audience related on the same stuff, so we'll get into that a little bit more. But Dean, give us. You've got the three different blends. We've got the Corojo Reserva, or it's Reserva Corojo, the Reserva Maduro, and
Habano.
And the new Habano, which we just posted our group review of last week.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So give us kind of a run. Oh, go ahead.
No. So we've got three blends. The first two, the Maduro Reserva and the Corojo Reserva, excuse me, came out at the end of last year, early this year, in a few retailers, and those are all made here in the Dominican Republic. Actually, I'm in Miami right now. I tried to make it back, but we're getting ready for the Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest, so I've been busy at the warehouse and still dealing with things from Vegas. But so our blends, the Maduro blend and the Corojo blend. The Corojo's been rated 93, 90 in smoke, and Dojo, Half Wheel gave it a great rating as well. I'm looking forward to you guys getting involved in that as well. But all blended here at the Charles Fairmont factory in the Dominican Republic. Full flavored, medium to full bodied cigars. The Corojo is a little fuller as far as strength, and the Maduro is a little sort of medium to full. But the Maduro, just as far as the makeup of that cigar, it's got a Dominican Nicaraguan filler, a Cameroon binder, and a Brazilian Arapiraca wrapper. That makes up that cigar. The Corojo Reserva has a Dominican Nicaraguan filler, a Dominican binder, and a Corojo Ecuador wrapper. So.
Cool. Yeah, we I haven't smoked the Maduro or the Corojo yet. Logan, have you?
I don't know, man. With the baby, man.
If you did, it was a long time ago. You haven't smoked it since, yeah. So we did, like I said, we reviewed the Habano just last week. And we actually ended up doing kind of a review where we talked about two different vitolas, because we had two guys, myself and John smoked the Fat Rothschild, and two of our other mods smoked the Corona, and it seemed like there was a difference, a pretty good difference in between those two vitolas, which you can expect to have a difference in those two vitolas, difference in flavor. It seemed like the the Corona was a lot spicier than the Fat Rothschild. I really liked it. I think I scored it an 89, 88 or an 89, which in our scoring system is,
it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's go pick up a 5-pack. I think is the way that we break it down.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the Maduro, and the Corojo, which we're going to get to here pretty soon.
Question: why are you Epic Cigars? Tell everyone.
Epic Cigars?
Yeah, why are you Epic Cigars? Because the reason I'm asking this is because I actually had this happen today. Is because you were doing a few giveaways on the show later, and I did one kind of to kind of hype it up, of course. And I said, yeah, I won a 5-pack of Epic Cigars, and I did a contest or whatever. And people are like, do you mean like the name of the company is Epic Cigars, or you're giving away Epic Cigars. So explain, tell us kind of how the Epic name came about.
Well, certainly I don't mind telling you the cigars are epic. I mean, the time and effort and
Touche.
the quality what we put in those cigars is epic. But the name back in 2010, I started searching cigar names. I had branded a cigar in Turks and Caicos back in 2006, and after leaving there in 2009 and moving to the Dominican Republic full time, I was working on blends and spending a lot of time in the factory. I was still working in real estate at that time. And just really was just searching names, and a friend of mine from Hatteras owns a company called Epic Kites. I kiteboard and surf in the Dominican Republic, so I literally was sitting on the beach in the Dominican Republic. I Googled it through GoDaddy on my phone, and it came up, and I said, wow, I cannot believe this. No one owns this name. And I took it a further step. I actually trademarked it later that year in 2010. And then just continued, down the road of working on blends and still working real estate a little bit. And then as it was starting to get closer to launching or getting blends where I wanted them, Monte Cristo came out with the Monte Cristo Epic back in 2012, which you're familiar with.
Yeah.
But at the time, they weren't aware of me. Of course, I didn't have any cigars in the market at that time. So I reached out to them, and basically they signed a coexistence agreement with me back in 2012. To use that name in the, I think they have a number 4 and a number 7 in the Monte Cristo, the red box and yellow box, but they won't be releasing any other cigars under the name Epic unless we sign another agreement. But there were no lawyers involved. Dealt with Javier Estedas, a great gentleman, obviously, and a big cigar guy, and we communicated for 3 or 4 weeks back and forth, and came to an agreement, and that was that. So. And of course, late 13, early 14 is now I'm in the market. So, there's really we're not competing with, of course, with Monte Cristo or Altadis. We're a boutique cigar, and we're excited to be out there and working with guys that enjoy the boutique cigars. Certainly not the smoker that smokes probably a Monte Cristo Epic is not the guy that I'm looking to have, I guess, as a client. I guess you want anybody as a client, but. But we're certainly not competing with Altadis or Monte Cristo.
I think that's got to be tough, man. You go and you have this idea, you're working on your concept for your company, and then a big name in the industry comes out with something that's called the same thing. It's like first day on the job, and you gotta make an uncomfortable phone call. But it sounds like it worked out well. Are they even making the Monte Cristo Epic anymore?
Nobody cares.
I don't even know if they are, to be honest. Somebody cares, sure. I'm sure, but I don't. I don't even know why I asked.
Well, they're certainly making a lot of, of course, Altadis is making a lot of great cigars, but
sure.
But yeah, no. So it was a surprise when that happened, and I thought, man, you got to be joking, and because this was sort of my lifetime, goal, and was getting ready to launch this cigar, and. But it did work out for the best, and certainly in these situations you never know how things are going to work out, and they were great to deal with together. So I was excited it worked out the way that it did.
Yeah, that's always nice, and you can handle something, excuse me, like that without getting attorneys involved. We got a ton of questions. I'm going to jump in here and just take a few right off the top. We've addressed a few of them. We talked a little bit about each one of your blends. Doc Will wanted kind of a breakdown. We've done that already, but of the 3 cigars that you've got, which one would you say is the spiciest?
I'm sorry. Sorry, say again.
Of the 3 cigars that you have, which one would you say is the spiciest? Has the most spice to it?
The Corojo.
Yeah.
The Corojo for sure. Yeah.
And based on the review that we did when Dustin and Matt both smoked the Corona of the Habano, and they said that it had some pretty good spice to it too. So that might be something that that Doc would like. This is an interesting question from CRA James here. He says, "Can you tell us what you're looking for when you blend your cigars? What's the most important thing? I mean, obviously we want to have all these things, but what do you look for? I guess first maybe is it complexity, strength, creaminess, flavor." Balance, etc.
Well, for me, it's complexity, and first of all, construction. The cigar construction has got to be key. But as far as the blend, it's complexity in the blend. You want a cigar to change. You want it to be an experience. You know, you don't want it to be you know, the same from start to finish. So, and that's why we use, you know, the Nicaraguan Viso, we use the Dominican Olor Seco, and you know, the Cameroon binder really changes a cigar in a lot of ways. Not a lot of people are using that. So complexity is certainly probably the first thing, and then, you know, flavor, and then strength, which you can, you know, depending on how much Ligero you're using, you know, you can adjust the strength, but everything's has to, you know, blend together to make that cigar right, and it takes a long time. It takes a long time.
How long did it take to blend your first cigar to bring to market?
The Maduro really was the first, and the Corojo was shortly after that. Well over a year for both of those cigars from the time we started working on those cigars. And keep in mind, you know, I've been really since 2009, since I moved to the DR, I've been smoking and playing around in the factory, and you know, those cigars started to really take shape in 2012, and the blends really got finalized, you know, towards the end of last year. So.
Wow. Question.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, Roberto.
No, I lost it already. You know how my attention span, it's like that. If you bring something up, it's gone. I don't know what I was going to say.
Well, I was going to ask about the Cameroon binder because it's interesting, because I know Skip Martin uses, in the Cro-Magnon, he uses a Cameroon binder, and you don't see a lot of Cameroon use, you know, the Royal Gold Nirvana. I mean, and Cameroon's obviously a very difficult tobacco to work with, just because, one, it's super expensive, but two, it just it breaks and it tears and it's very fragile. Mm-hmm. You know, where do you actually source your Cameroon from? Like what farm?
In the Dominican Republic, from Hochi Blanco. That's where most of our tobacco comes from.
Okay.
And they, you know, really, I think if you ask anybody in this area, he's obviously one of the best suppliers of tobacco, certainly in Santiago. So all of our stuff comes from there.
That's cool. And that's Jose Blanco's cousin?
That's correct.
There we go. Okay. I didn't know. I always think it's like his mean uncle or something. That's what I always say, but I know that's not right. I've never met Jose Blanco, but anyways.
No, that was a name that we heard that name quite a few times at IPCPR as well.
We have, actually.
And that Cameroon leaf is finicky, boy. When you're, especially if you're using that as a wrapper, I mean, it just gets, it's so thin. Or I don't know if it's any thinner, like if it's realistically any thinner than other leaves, because I don't know enough about it to speak about it that way. It just feels like it is.
Right. Well, and then, you know, the factory that I work with Rolando VML, who's runs the Charles Fairmont factory in Santiago, and Rolando's been you know, blending cigars for more than 30 years, and you know, he grew up with you know, guys like Jose Sayas, and you know, he's just a very low-key gentleman, a super mentor for me, and just a guy that doesn't want to be on the radar, but he's done great things with cigars for you know, 30+ years. So I'm excited to have someone like that to work with. That really, when I go in the factory, it's basically, you know, he makes it my factory, and you know, sometimes we start changing things and doing things differently, and he kind of looks at me funny, and you know, why do you want to do that, and how'd you hear about that, and I just kind of shrug my shoulders, and he puts it together and we run with it. So that makes it exciting.
That's cool. You have to find somebody like that you can work with. I know we're coming up on a break here pretty soon. I got a quick question, and we've got a couple of people asking where they can find your cigars. I want to single out.
Let's just take the break, Rob, because we got literally like 10 seconds.
Oh, we'll take the break. Okay. Well, we'll get into more questions right after this break. Hey, welcome back to Cigar Chat, brought to you live on CigarFederation.com. Broadcast around the world in the Armed Forces Radio Network. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are out there in the world today, keeping us safe so we can sit around and talk about cigars. We appreciate it, everything that you guys do for us out there. Logan, this next segment brought to us by...
Nobody, because we don't have a sponsor. Back to Dean.
Epic Cigars.
Epic Cigars.
Yeah,
because they're freaking epic. Back to you, Rob.
Well, that was awkward.
You deserve a cigar worthy of your achievements.
There you go. See, I should have just gone. Next time, Dean, I'll just go straight to you.
Hashtag Epic Cigars.
Exactly. Yeah. Hashtag Epic Cigars.
He's got the hashtags queued up and everything. So we're here with Dean from Epic Cigars, talking about hashtags and all, and windsurfing in the Dominican. Like, it's sitting on the beach finding out the name of your. Oh, kiteboarding. I'm sorry. Like I don't even know the
Yeah,
difference.
it's
Well,
two
what
very
the
different sports.
kiteboarding's like you got like the parachute thing, right? That's like pulling you around. Oh, did he lock up?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I see people doing that
Yeah.
here in the Bay sometimes because we get a fair amount of wind occasionally, San Francisco Bay.
Yeah,
But
it's a great sport.
it's definitely not warm enough, if you ask me, to be doing that. But whatever. So we've had a few people ask where they can find your cigars. I want to single out Robert P. Anderson because he lives in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
And that's pretty awesome. Bob, and he says Bob. So Bob is asking where you can find your cigars locally. If you can't find them locally, is there a place online where you can find them?
Sure. We've right now the only location we have in California is called Cigar Monkey. That's Mike and Janet, and they're in where are they? Gosh,
That's
I don't
Southern
know where they
California,
are.
isn't it? I think
Yeah,
they're Southern
in,
California.
in Southern Cal, but they picked us up at IPCPR, which was exciting. But we have a bunch of people coming online, since the Vegas show. So that's the only location in California. We have a sampler on NeptuneCigar.com, and they're based here in South Florida. They've got 2 stores, one in Fort Lauderdale and one in Miami. So that's really the only place you'll find us online, just with a sampler.
Okay.
A 5-pack in the Maduro and Corojo. We don't have the Habano on there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Neptune. I know I've ordered from them before. They do a good job.
Great people, Christoph and Luz. They're awesome people, and I'm excited to be working with them here in South Florida. So I was actually just over there last week.
Cool. Yeah, they do. I've ordered. They get some pretty interesting stuff in there sometimes that other people don't get. So. I've ordered from them a few times. Logan, I'm just going to fire away with some audience questions. Jump in whenever you feel like it.
You ask a question, then I'll ask a follow-up question.
Okay, that works for me. I haven't even read this question, but it looks like a good one, so I'm going to go for it. This one's from Huskers. I don't know Huskers. I think Huskers.
Dude, he's from Nebraska, man. He went to University of Nebraska.
Well, that you be careful out there on that limb. I mean, really, you think that's where he went to school? It's a good guess.
No, that's not a limb. That's fact. I guarantee it.
Well, that's what I meant by if you're going out on a limb, you're usually taking a chance. So I said, be careful out there on that limb. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a joke. Sorry, I didn't realize that was humor. Sorry.
Well, I'll explain sarcasm to you later. See, I just used it there again. Many people that are true cigar enthusiasts, this is from Huskers again, true cigar enthusiasts despise large Gordo-sized cigars. Was there a marketing strategy in mind when you decided to make and sell a Gordo Vitola?
Really, I think it's just more of the market is looking for that. Now, keep in mind we've got the 60 by 6. That's as big as we're going.
Yeah.
Unless there's some huge demand, and I kind of feel like even myself, I enjoyed smoking the 60 ring gauges for a while, but now I'm smoking more of the 52s and the 50s, Robustos, and even the Lanceros are enjoyable, and we're working on some Lanceros and the Corojo and Maduro. So, but yeah, 60 is as big as we're going to go, and we're selling a lot of them. One of our stores in New Jersey, Sky Tobacco, they're selling 60s all day long. So you have to provide it for the market, and if the demand's there, then you try your best to meet it.
Yeah, and that's the rest of his question here. He says, it seems like there are more and more companies doing that despite the negative feedback from the true cigar enthusiast. Well, I agree with what he's saying, but to say that the true cigar, to label anyone a true cigar enthusiast as someone who doesn't like a 60 ring gauge, I don't know. I mean, the reason that all these companies are making them, despite the fact that maybe the guys online and guys like Logan and myself are talking about that we don't necessarily gravitate towards them, you guys are making them for a reason. People are buying them.
Yeah.
So that's there could be negative feedback, but as long as they're selling, you're going to make them.
I'm smoking one right now. Yeah, I'm smoking Maduro and a 60 by 6. Yeah.
I really liked the Fat Rothschild size. It was it's kind of like a nub size. It's a 4.5, but it's a 56 ring gauge. It wasn't a 60.
Exactly.
And I thought that size was really cool. It was a nice. I mean, for me, it was a nice 50-minute smoke. 45, 50 minutes. Logan will get through that in what, like 20?
Ha 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 ha. Funny.
Just puffing away. Logan works in the cigar, boy.
I'm a fiend, dude.
You're just tearing it up.
I know.
I got my business partners like that. Steve Simonetti, he's a doctor in New York, and I'm always telling him, you just got to slow down, man. You're never going to learn to appreciate that cigar if you don't slow down. And God bless him, but he likes to smoke them fast. But hey, smoke them however you want them. Just enjoy them.
Just keep smoking them.
That's what
Yeah.
it's about.
If you're lighting up your next cigar with your previous cigar, then
You got issues.
then I don't think I could help you there. Okay, let's see. We talked about that. I'm just going through some of these questions here.
Follow-up questions.
Okay.
So you went on kind of a trend. I mean, you've got all your cigars are named after, you know, a wrapper type. You have Habano, you have Corojo, you have, you know, Maduro.
Mm-hmm.
The next release, can we expect the same trend? And I mean, because it kind of narrows it down a little bit, you know, what you can release a little bit. But are you expecting a limited edition, or what's next for you guys?
We'll be going something completely different. We'll come out with some different sizes maybe for next year. But right now, Logan, our focus is on you know, getting in good brick and mortar retailers and building relationships and really getting our cigars out, because I get emails just about every day. You know, where can I get your cigars and how do I get them? So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're truly boutique, and we're going to stay that way. And it's one retailer, brick and mortar at a time. So that's really our focus. We don't have any plans to come out with any new blends, certainly until maybe next year, or maybe even a little bit later, because really we're not out there yet in the market. So we've got, you know, about 30 or so retailers, and that's growing daily since the IPCPR. So we feel pretty blessed that we had a good showing there, and excited about the opportunity for growth.
That's awesome. Well, how are you getting your, cigars to market? I mean, you keep referencing it. You guys are small and growing slow, which I totally agree. What's the right strategy? But how are you growing your retail base? I mean, are you using brokers? Are you have an in-house staff? Or are you just hitting the streets? Like, what are you doing?
Hitting the streets and really word of mouth to a lot of good friends. And I got to shout out to some guys in New York. Juan Cancel, everybody knows who he is, but he's helped me immensely opening doors. Billy Ives, the Cuban Assassin, great guys, and I've got a good network in South Florida, so we're growing slowly here. And New York, New Jersey is probably the busiest state we have right now. And we've just hired a rep in the Midwest, and we've got a few more reps coming on in the next couple of months. So as they come on, we'll introduce them, and then they'll get out there, and we'll build a good team of people. So, but we're really, I want to get out there, but we want to make sure we're doing it right with the retailers we have, and getting their cigars on time, making sure everybody's happy, and getting over there and doing events, and spreading the word. So.
Absolutely. Well, it's funny you mentioned Juan Cancel, because I see this guy everywhere, but I don't know what he does. What does he do for a living? Like, he is everywhere. I swear to God, I see him on Facebook, Twitter, like 18 times a day, in Instagram, but I have no idea what this guy does. Like, I don't know if he's a brand ambassador. I don't know if he's like just a cigar junkie. Like, I don't know what he does. What does he do?
He's one of the hardest working guys I know. He's a Port Authority police officer. And this guy works hard to provide for his family, I would say, first and foremost, but then to fill his humidors. And he's just a great person and a dear friend. So, okay. And I don't know anybody more passionate about cigars than that guy in the industry, and I say that wholeheartedly.
That's cool.
So,
now I know. The more you know.
The more you know.
That whole thing about I see him everywhere and what does that guy even do for a living? People probably say that about us, dude.
No, everyone knows what I do. Like, I have a job.
That's true. Yeah, nobody knows what I do. Everybody seems to think they know what I do, but that's just a side job.
Yeah.
So Dean, tell us. We usually kind of do a little getting to know you part. And we kind of skip that. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you've got a pretty interesting history. You gave us a glimpse while we were talking to you at IPCPR. I mean, I don't know if there was you had some interesting some dance moves you were showing off on the bus, I think, too. And, so I mean, let us know a little. You don't have to tell us about that, but let us know a little bit about your background, how you got involved in the cigar industry.
Wow. Well, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? That's
I didn't.
Except herpes. That comes home with you.
So I don't know who let the cat out of the bag about the bus trip, but yeah. Well, anyway, we'll get into that a little bit later. But no, I'm originally from Canada, born and raised, actually on the East Coast in a small town Labrador. After high school, I played hockey in high school and spent a little bit of time in Quebec playing Quebec Major Junior Hockey. Played a little bit of university hockey, and lived in Fredericton, New Brunswick, on the East Coast as well. Actually policed there for almost 10 years. And in 2005, I moved to the Turks and Caicos Islands, and I began working in real estate with a real estate developer there, and stayed there through 2009. But and really, how I got into cigars, I had been smoking cigars, in my 20s and at different times through the years, but not, of course, not the way I am now. But I had a lot of clients flying into the Turks and Caicos that were looking for cigars. You could get just about everything there, but they weren't bringing any quality cigars in there. So I started to fly to Santiago and bring back cigars for my clients. And after getting over there 2 or 3 times, you start to meet some of these boutique cigar makers. You visit the factories, and so in 2006, I took it another step, and I created a cigar for the Turks and Caicos Islands called the Turk Select cigar, and I launched that. We started blending it late 2005. We launched it in 2006. Had good success. Did a lot of events. It was in a lot of the hotels and resorts there, and the duty-free shops, and it kind of grew from there. But after the market crashed late '08, I relocated to the DR with another real estate project, and then it was, I really started spending a lot of time in Santiago and at the factory, and time with Rolando, and it was kind of just, it was one of those things that wouldn't go away. But I couldn't figure out, how do you get in the business, because, it takes time, it takes money, it takes, you've got to learn, and it's a competitive market. So, we took a leap of faith, and really in 2013, and then in 2014, my business partner, Steve Simonetti, who's out of New York, out of Queens, New York, came on board, and we've been pushing forward ever since. So it's a full-time deal, and the response has been fantastic, and we're excited about the future. We're here to stay. So
that's good to hear. I mean, you don't look old enough to have all that.
Yeah, you don't look that old,
experience, bro. Man. I mean, you talk about all that stuff, and you started like 2005.
43, man.
Oh, dude, what is? I mean, do you have like a special diet or something?
You know what's?
I don't know.
You know what? I try to live an epic lifestyle. But you know what? I've been active most of my life. I run a lot. I spend time in the gym. It keeps me focused. But I'll tell you a quick story. And this was in Vegas. I had a chance actually the first night. I think it was Friday night. Had a chance to meet Pete Johnson from Tatuai, and of course everybody knows who he is. But we talked for about 45 minutes, and it's the first time I met him. And he's I think he's 44. I'm 43, or maybe it's the other way around. But you know what? We talked for about 45 minutes about how he got into the business, and I tell you, he really gave me some great advice, and just that conversation with him for 45 minutes made the trip to Vegas worthwhile. I tell you, because everybody starts somewhere. He had a brother who played hockey in Michigan, and everybody starts somewhere. So I've been fortunate, to be living in the DR and actually in cigar country since 2009, and really been visiting there since 2006. So, and that's my home. That's where I live. I'm traveling now, obviously, to promote the cigar, but it really makes a difference when you're there and you're in the factory, every other day or 3 or 4 days a week. And but when you get in there with the workers and the rollers, and you're spending time, and they see the smiles that they're creating, and the photos and the social media. The workers are, they're amazing. They're amazing. It's not just it's not me. It's a lot of people. A lot of people behind Epic Cigars that don't get any credit.
Yeah, no. On that, we'll get into everything going on in the factory a little bit more after this break.
Thanks.
Hey guys, welcome back to Cigar Chat, brought to you live on CigarFederation.com, broadcast around the world, the Armed Forces Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are out there in the world today. And I want to welcome our podcast listeners. We kind of ignore our podcast listeners for whatever reason.
They listen good too. I always get emails the next day about the contest.
Yeah.
And they always listen, and we never give them anything. But so what we'll do.
Let's do one tonight.
Let's do it tonight.
That was totally organic. That wasn't even supposed to happen.
Perfect.
So there we go. We'll do some podcast stuff.
That's what she said.
Yeah, you did it. You went there.
It's all right. We can.
Sorry.
But no, we can roll with it. That's good.
Dude, it's totally cool, brother.
You didn't say anything inappropriate.
Oh, no, you're cool.
So okay, so we're talking about getting down to the factories and stuff, and you're in a unique position where, I mean, you're a smaller company, you're relatively new. I mean, you're kind of from the consumer standpoint, it's like a one-man show. I mean, you talk about there's a lot of people that are working in the company with you that are helping you, and that's for sure. But I mean, it's from our standpoint, this is your business, and to be able for you to be able to be down there, like you said, 3 or 4 days out of the week, really keep an eye on your product.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you an opportunity to have great quality control, but it also has got to give you a little bit of peace of mind too, I would think.
Yeah, it is from the cigars to the boxes. I mean, I go in and I'll pull things off the line. I'll spend time with Rolando, with our management team and the staff, and we actually use about, and this is probably unique too. We're growing as I guess as quick as we need to, but right now we use 6 pairs of rollers to roll all of our blends. So. If something goes wrong, we can pretty much limit it to who's working with us, and these rollers they're normal people like you and I, so they have bad days, and once in a while you're going to get a cigar that's rolled a little bit too tight or it's not going to draw. But we also, of course, we use our draw test machines, but it's hand rolled, so. The happier your people are, the happier the group of team that you work with, the better your product's going to be. And of course, it's all about using quality tobaccos and aging and all those things as well. So, but it gives it a different perspective when you're there. And to be honest, there's nowhere else I'd rather live. I mean, it's been over 5 years, and really the best part of that country is the people, the Dominican people, and also to be able to learn and spend time with some of the top cigar makers in the world. I mean, I've spent time with Jose Sayas and Jose Blanco, who are good friends of mine, and who every time I get around them, you just sit and listen and smoke a cigar, and you cannot help but learn from those guys and how they smoke and how they talk about blends, and that's been one of the biggest bonuses that I have in living there, outside of just being in the factory and quality control and things, but learning from guys like that. So.
Sure. We had somebody in the chat, and Logan addressed it, but we'll ask anyway because other people may be asking. Since rollers work in pairs, you got the buncher and the roller. Can you just give us just a little bit, like a brief breakdown of how what's the buncher doing, what's the roller doing, why does it take 2 people, that kind of thing. Did you hear me?
Well, if he froze up, I can answer that question.
Okay. Well, the buncher. Yeah, you go ahead, Logan.
No. I don't want to steal your thunder. Hey, man. No, I thought you froze up there for a second. So you go ahead. But you got the Banchado and you got the Pilata. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go ahead.
So the buncher takes the filler and binder leaves and prepares them, and of course puts it in the mold, and then it sits and gets turned over an hour, and then of course the roller puts the final wrapper in the cap on the cigar. But they work in pairs, and it's consistent, and that's basically it. I mean, to come in and see it, you get a whole new appreciation for how it works and how they work together. But and there are a lot of the rollers, certainly in our factory, they're paid on production and how much output they're putting out in the run of a day and the quality of the cigars. So they're motivated to do quality work and focus on what they're doing, and it's a skilled profession for sure.
Yeah, and it was.
Hell yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, if you've ever tried to do it, I tried to put a wrapper on one time.
It's impossible.
I'm convinced that there's some sort of, I don't know, some sort of hex or something on things that doesn't allow anybody other than the people sitting down at the table to actually do it. Because I watched her do it a bunch of times, and she showed me slow motion too. And I watched, and I thought, wow, that's really easy. And I sat down, and it was just gone. As soon as I sat down, I couldn't figure out what I was doing. I actually still have those cigars that I put the wrappers on. They are rough, man.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's the kind of thing that we take that for granted because, I mean, I know I've seen it, Logan's seen it, and Dean, you see it all the time, but some of our viewers may not have seen that, so that was why I asked that question. Quick one here from Jason Myers, and this has been kind of an ongoing theme. It's the same thing for me. I mean, everybody knows Epic Cigars from social media, seeing you guys Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You guys are all over Instagram. So when it comes to social media marketing, do you have are you the marketing team? I mean, is that everything's coming from you?
That's pretty much it. Yeah. At this
You're the whole
stage in
team?
the game. At this stage in the game, yeah, it is. And you know what? I can do more, and you need to do more. Really, it's people want to be in touch, and it's exciting for me. I mean, really, we've gotten more through Instagram. Really, has probably been our biggest push outside of all the forms of social media. It's just posting pictures and images, and really responding to people too when they post.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets tough. I mean, like right now, obviously we're talking. I'm not on my phone, but I do my best to get back to people as quickly as I can, and because you know what, they're interested in what I'm doing. I'm interested in having great customers, and it's the customers that are going to build this brand. It's that's what it's about. So the more time you can spend connecting with them through social media, I think the better things will go. So, and I enjoy it. So.
Yeah, and we chuckled about the fact that you're the team that's doing all the marketing, but the best part about that is you're not paying anybody to do it, so so you're good to go there.
And I'll mention David Zinneman, a really good friend of mine who lives in the DR as well. David was with us at the show. You may have met him briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Big cigar guy. Has been in the cigars for 20+ years, and knows his stuff inside and out, and he does a lot of reviews with some of the magazines and independent groups. So super guy, and is doing a great job. And we hope to, as we grow, get him on board full time, and he'll be part of our team, moving forward.
Cool. Yeah, I know we met him. I think we met him both times we sat down at the booth with you. So it was, you had a good team with you. Question here from Jose Rivera III, and I believe that this is a friend of yours.
What's up, Jose?
He wants to know when can we expect your response to Juan's Ice Bucket Challenge?
Oh, why?
I don't know if you froze up, but there's an Ice Bucket Challenge going around on Facebook. I've seen
a post more.
Yeah, I've seen a few people responding to it, and basically you just kind of have to stand there and dump a bucket of ice over your head. Fred Rui from Nomad Cigars did it today in response. So they want to know when you're going to do it.
ALS. That'll be tomorrow, and it's that thing's gone viral, and it's exciting, and it's for a great cause. So it's great to see, and that's what's great about this industry is really people, the group of brothers and sisters of the Leaf that really support each other, and it's amazing. Franklin, one of our retailers, Tobacco Cigars down in Bethlehem, I saw he was on board there today, and Franklin's a fantastic guy. Used to be a roller with Carlito Fuente. Used to roll the Opus X for many years. He's down there in Bethlehem, and we had a great event there just before Vegas, I think, or just after Vegas. So much going on, but super guy. So if you're in the Bethlehem area, look up Franklin and go in there and see him, because he's making
cigars
and selling.
Cool. Just to piggyback a little bit on what you said about doing things for a great cause, we've got. I know you guys are familiar with the Project Mañana that we did last year. Logan, I'm not stepping on any toes here by commenting on this.
Sure? Are you sure?
I'm not. Well, I'm not making any sort of announcement. I'm just pointing it out. I wanted to point out that we did it last year. We raised a fair amount of money. We're doing it again.
$5,800. Everyone said I was crazy. That we wouldn't raise but $1,500. Logan was right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's all get excited about that. No, we did. And it was really, really successful. And we're going to be doing it again this year in the coming weeks, I believe.
Starting on Monday.
Potentially starting on Monday, we'll see. But Dean was I believe the first person to give us a donation this year. So
he was.
Yeah. So Dean, we do appreciate that. So there's definitely going to be some. There's going to be some epic cigars in there. I know we've got a bunches of all three blends, I believe, that are going to be in there. So
Oodles and doodles.
yeah, oodles and doodles. So let's see. I'm going to keep going through these questions. Logan, jump in whenever you like.
Happy to be on. Excited.
I think we've got a little bit of a delay with Dean there.
That's okay.
That's all right. A little bit of a delay. We'll power through.
Yeah.
So, well, this one's from Man Angel. He says he wants to sample all the different cigars, all your different blends. He says, is there a specific vitola that you prefer in each different blend?
I prefer the in the Habano. I really enjoy the Corona Extra, which is the 46 by 5.5. I really enjoy that in the Maduro, the Robusto, and of course in the Corojo, the Robusto as well.
All right, so the Corona, and I had the Fat Rothschild. I really like that size, so I would give that one a shot. Let's see, Logan. I think we kind of got through all the questions here. This is a first.
I know, it's surprising.
There's some I didn't ask directly, but we covered on most of them, so I think we're good. What else? What else you got? You want to? What else? I know you got something. We're coming up on the end here anyway, I think.
Yeah, we've got a few minutes. So let me ask you, Dean. At the trade show, I mean, kind of being, kind of the new guy there. What was your take on people, retailers, with the whole pending FDA ruling, which probably won't be for another long time now, anyways. But did you get the feeling that people are running scared and weren't buying cigars at the show? Do you see that more people are buying cigars after the show? I mean, what was your take on that?
You know what? Of all the retailers that came by to visit our booth, it didn't come up. Of course, it's a concern in the back of everybody's mind. We have we're part of Cigar Rights and guys were buying. We had for our first show. I couldn't have been happier, and I had retailers that came by to place orders with us that couldn't place orders. They came by, a couple times over the 3.5 days, and ended up placing their orders after, and we extended our show special till a week after, and we've gotten, even since the show, we've gotten about 5 new retailers and reorders. We've had 3 reorders just from the show in Vegas, so I couldn't be happier, and I'm excited.
Dude, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you being a big cigar guy, I got a question from, what's his name? He's new to the show, so I got to ask. Philip. I think it might be the first time he's watching. I don't know. But, I mean, obviously you smoke a lot of your own cigars because you make them. And you like them. But what do you smoke when you're not smoking your own cigars?
Excuse me. You know what? I smoke as much stuff as I can get my hands on. Certainly a lot of the boutiques. I smoke, obviously, one of my favorite cigars is a blend that Jose Sayas had made just before he left Altadis or left Tabacalera Garcia, which is his signature series cigar, which is I always keep some in my humidor. I've had a chance to smoke Jose Blanco's cigars, but I've smoked Camacho. I like the Padron 64, the 26, Partagas, the 68. I think the 1968. I've smoked that. Just everything that's out there, I try it, and because that's how you grow. You build your palate and you learn what's out there. All the Ligas, the Undercrowns, the Pharrells. Great cigars coming out of Nicaragua, as we know. Eric Espinosa is making great stuff. Danny Moya,
he's a jerk. He's a jerk.
You know what? This is why I love this industry. A guy came over, and I won't name names, but he's one of our retailers, and it was a combination of Juan Cancel and Danny Moya. But a guy walked up to me. I'd never met him before at the show, and he sat down. He said, Danny Moya told me that you're a great guy and told me to open up an account with you. And I tell you, you know what? That's what this industry is all about.
It's true.
Because. And he sat down and opened up the account and ordered a bunch, and he's ordered, reordered twice since the show. So, yeah, that's exciting. So we got to support each other as boutique brands and as an industry as a whole, and grow together. So that's, the hair standing up on my arms. When when you think about stuff like that, and it's no different than what you guys are doing every day with Cigar Federation. how you're getting the word out there to all the military and the listeners worldwide. And God bless those guys that sacrificing their lives and their families to be out there every day. So it's exciting.
Yeah, that's a good story to hear stuff like that. I mean, to have one guy that has no vested interest in your company, and in fact would really be considered a competitor when you think about it, because you guys are fighting for the same shelf space. And he sends somebody over to you and says, hey, you got to do business with this guy. That's pretty awesome. We heard the bing bing, so I know we're out of time. Yeah. So we're going to wrap up our Armed Forces segment today. Dean, really appreciate you taking the time, man. Thanks so much for chatting with us, being very generous with the stuff we're doing with Project Manana and things like that. So we really do appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck, man, moving forward.
Thanks, guys. Listen, happy to be here tonight, and anybody has any questions, obviously you can shout out to you guys. You know how to contact us. EpicCigars.com, our Facebook page, our websites. We've got a list of all the retailers, and we're getting out there, and we're going to be around for a while. So thanks so much tonight, and thanks for everybody that's listening. And just shoot us an email or on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and I'll be happy to respond to any questions. And
cool.
Keep smoking.
Yeah, for sure. Dean, we appreciate it. Logan, real quick, podcast giveaway. What do you want to do?
Well, the next segment's going to be on the podcast too.
Oh, you're right. So we'll do it later. Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up, guys. Thanks for listening on the Armed Forces Radio Network. Thank you for everything you guys do. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next week. I'm not sure who our guest is, but we'll you guys.
La Barba.
Oh, La Barba. That's going to be Tony Boleto. That's going to be a fun show because he's got some interesting stuff that he's working on. So we'll see you guys next week.
Sure. And just Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest next Saturday, the 23rd.
Oh, you're
so
okay.
A bunch of cigars out there and a lot of people.
Cool.
We're part of that event, so stop by and say hello.
Go to the Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest. That's next weekend. So that's what? That's like the 20-something.
23rd.
23rd.
Saturday
okay.
the 23rd. Yeah,
cool.
It's going to be a good time.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks. Everybody, stay safe.
And we're fucking back to the best segment of the show. We can cuss now, and we're not censored by our fucking government. How's everyone doing? How's everybody going? How's it going?
It's good. I'm running out of battery life, so I may actually drop off at some point. But if I do,
you are
guys
such
can
a
just keep
douche.
going.
Like, plug it in. You've got a power source.
Disaster.
Well, I might have to get up and get it. So
yeah,
let's do.
Yeah,
figure out how you want to do the giveaways, and I'll go get my power cord.
Okay. Well, Dean, we've got a bunch of cigars to give away. Usually I'll just make up some crazy way on how to do it, but do you have a specific way that you would like to give away the cigars you put up for Cigar Chat tonight?
Well, listen, you guys are more certainly more in tune with how you do that, but we've done send in an epic picture or tell us about an epic moment or but no, I mean go crazy and love to get cigars in people's hands and get feedback from them. So
okay,
I'll leave that to you.
You'll leave that to me. Okay. So what we'll do is I think we gave away a few of the cigars today. We'll pick, let's say, 6 winners, and they can email me at Logan@Cigar Federation with their, with their name. The subject line will be Epic Cigars, their full name and address, and then let's just do that. Let's have them write their most epic cigar moment.
What's your most epic cigar moment?
Well, my most epic cigar moment, Rob, is probably the Jessica Padron story.
That's not really a cigar moment, though.
That's 100% a cigar moment. And it's not sexual either. It was a complete fuck-up. But I'll tell you the story, Dean, because you've never heard it.
It's a story of exactly what not to do.
It's what not to do. So I don't know if you're married or not, Dean, but it was IPCPR 2012. Rob wasn't there, and we were chatting over.
Fall out of your chair?
Almost, yeah. Pretty close. Pretty close. But we were there. I was there, and Rob wasn't. And he was like, "Hey, did you, who have you talked to? Have you chatted with? Whatever." And I was like, "Oh yeah, da 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 da." Well, my wife texted me, and the way the old Blackberries would work, it wouldn't really bounce between screens. So he goes, "Well, hey, how was Jessica Padron?" And I thought I was replying to Rob, but
Epic,
I was
right?
actually replying to Epic, exactly. Try to reply to my wife, but I accidentally sent my wife, oh yeah, Jessica Padron, she's hotter than donut grease. And I was like, fuck, I just sent that to my wife. And unfortunately, I tried to text her a bunch of clear the screen, and she didn't text back for a while. And she's like, all right, hon, have a great day, and go tell Jessica Padron hi for me, sad face. And literally ever since then, like even at this trade show 2.5 years later, I have never spoke to Jessica Padron. I have never even met the lady. And my wife's like, hey, you better stay away from that Jessica Padron. I'll get fucking feisty. So that's my Jessica Padron story. I was smoking a cigar when that happened, I think.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that is pretty epic. That is an epic fuck up.
Well, I had, I'll tell you a quick epic moment. When I was living in Turks and Caicos, I had a chance to spend an evening with Denzel Washington and Dwayne Martin, who's a good friend of mine from California, and we basically hung out and smoked cigars. So he was there with his family and staying on the island, and through some friends in common, we got to just hang out and smoke. And he is one pretty cool dude, and I have the pictures and also that was probably my epic moment. And had I had epic cigars back then, maybe it would be more epic. But it was great. It was great. Super guy. Very cool.
I can't. I want to see his new movie. He's got a new movie coming out.
Who?
Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
I can't think of
My
what
man.
I can't think of what the movie's called, but it actually looks like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But whatever, be that as it may. I don't know, an epic cigar moment for me. I'll have to.
You don't have one.
Yeah. I probably don't.
How do you not have one, though?
I mean, I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. You talk amongst yourselves, and I'll come up with one.
I mean, dude, you can't think of one off the cuff? Like, you haven't smoked a cigar that just, you were in, like, what about the time you were in Ireland and you were buying those Cubans or whatever, and you smoked right outside of Trinity College?
Oh, no, that was, you know what, you actually pay attention to my stories. You mix two of them
I
up.
actually do give a shit about you, Rob. What other people might say I actually do.
That's weird. No. Okay, so I've got two. One of them is, they both happen to be in Europe. I got lucky to go on two really nice trips. On my honeymoon, my wife and I we did Madrid for 4 days and then Paris for 5. And in Madrid, I found a really cool Cuban shop that they just had a ton of stuff. And I didn't know what the hell I was buying, so I just bought, like, Partagas Series D number 5, like the standard stuff. And that's probably the one that I remember the most. And I ended up smoking that one in Paris. We were staying right across the street from the Louvre. Actually, in the same hotel, if you ever watch The Bourne Identity, the first one where they have to go back, the hotel where John Michael Caine dies, or is supposed to be dead, that hotel. That was at the Regina, Hotel Regina.
Yeah.
So I smoked the Partagas right there out in front of the Louvre, walking back and forth in this nice little area. So I guess that was pretty epic. And in Ireland, smoked a Fuente Añejo. My father-in-law has some property over there. And it was one of those nice days where the sun kind of came out. Sun never comes out, at least in that part of Ireland. It was raining all day. And the sun came out just for like about an hour, and it had just enough time to sit out there and smoke. It was just me and the cows, and that was pretty epic. No movie stars or epic fuck ups in text to my wife or anything, but those are my stories, I guess. So what are we doing for the
We're having everyone email me their most epic cigar moment, and honestly, I'm getting some freaking sagas here.
Are we doing the same thing for the podcast? People?
We're gonna do the same thing for the podcast, but that won't be up.
Should we have the podcast people email me?
Yes, the podcast. If you're listening, you're not watching this live right now, and you're listening either to the video.
We got to go SigFed honor code on this.
Yeah, SigFed honor code.
If you're watching now, we know.
Yeah, exactly. The podcast or listening YouTube tomorrow. Yeah. Not, and this doesn't if you're listening 2 years from now, then that doesn't count. We're talking from January, let's say August 15th through a week. Let's just say
next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday or something. Then same thing. Email Rob at CigarFederation.com. with your name and then your most epic cigar moment. And honestly, these are getting too ridiculous. I think what we might do, and I know people hate when I do this, but I don't really care, is I'm going to take up everyone's epic moment and then put it in the forum and then let everyone vote on it.
Oh,
Very cool.
This is
Or should I have Dean vote? Or should I have Dean?
I don't know. This is getting pretty epic.
We got to make it as complicated as fucking
Don't
possible.
put it on me.
Don't put it on me. Oh, come on, Dean.
I like the idea. Let's put it up in the forum and have people vote, and we'll pick a winner next Friday, and then we'll announce the podcast winners next Friday or Saturday. Let's do Saturday because that's when I get back from Chicago.
Okay, we can do that.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck off, weasels. I just screwed you for getting cigars for a week.
Y'all gotta wait. Cool. Well, so we got through all the questions. So I think
we did.
I think we're ready to wrap it up. Dean, I told you we'd have you here for about an hour, and I think I'm sticking to my word.
That's great.
Yeah, and again, man, we really do appreciate it. I'm really glad that we got a chance to meet at IPCPR. You know, you've got a really cool attitude about the way that you're approaching the business. I really like the Habano. I'm looking forward to smoking the other two releases. And it's funny, Logan's asking you about what's coming out next. The Habanos aren't even on the market yet.
Yeah,
oh, really?
I mean, it's out to the retailers from the show. It's out there. So
okay, so
it's our newest blend, and you're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna enjoy it more down the road. Of course, you know, like we age, of course, minimum 90 days before we we start to ship. So you're gonna enjoy those cigars more than you have, and you're really gonna enjoy the Maduro and the Corojo as well. So. It's funny. We've got, like I said, some shops in Pennsylvania, the Corojo's flying out the door, and other shops the Maduro's flying out the door, and other shops the Habano's moving. So it's kind of unique to have at least something for everybody. I mean, our cigars aren't for everybody in the sense that they're all full flavored and at least medium bodied. So we're after the cigar smoker that really wants to get out there and enjoy a full flavored and medium to full bodied cigar. So
cool. Well, yeah, Dean, we do appreciate it, guys. If you're still here on Cigar Federation watching live, Stogie Geeks just kicked off, so you can leave us and go watch them. So we're wrapping everything up. Logan, pleasure to see you as always.
Yeah, dude.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. You're to aim to please, my friend. Aim to please.
Taking a new hairstyle. Guys, we as always, we appreciate the support of the show and support of Cigar Federation. We appreciate it. You guys know where to find us, cigarfederation.com. You find Dean is everywhere, Epic Cigars. If you just look up Epic Cigars, you're going to find him active everywhere, and he'll get back to you pretty quick if you got any questions. So, Dean, appreciate it. Everybody have a good weekend, and our next show is Monday. We've got a weird schedule.
Whoa.
Isn't it Monday?
Hold on, let me just confirm this fucking shit here.
I think our next show is Monday, bro.
Why? Oh, yeah, it's the 18th. Well, you're lucky you told me that, or I wouldn't have showed up for that.
I would have been rolling solo. So we've got Tony Boletto of La Barba Cigars coming on next weekend. He did all that other stuff, the Stout, and was the Impromptu and all that stuff. So that's going to be a fun show. Monday. So we'll see you guys on Monday. Dean, appreciate it, man. Safe travels back home, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Dean. Adios, everyone.
Thank you. Shout out to my man Chuck. He knows who he is. Thanks,
Chuck.
Guys. Have a good evening.
Chuck sounds like a great guy. You gotta like a guy named Chuck, right?
My man Chuck.
Everybody's gotta know a guy named Chuck. All right, guys.
Chuck's a good man.
All right, guys. Everybody have a good weekend.
Later.